Hey you guys, Chef Justin back here again, and this is his DVD and Blu-ray update of the week. I don't have any mini DVDs this week and not many Blu-rays, but let's just see what I got and what I watched over the past week. So here we go. First DVD I want to start off with is Grimm Love. This is a DVD that I picked up at my Blockbuster that was closing down, so yeah, it was like $3 or something like that. The movie's about a student who's a criminal psychologist, and she was studying a case for her class or something like that, and the case that she chose was about this guy who was a cannibal, but he was also a homosexual, and the movie goes basically back and forth between present of the student's time and back when the cannibal guy started, and when he was little, and what messed him up and made him go that way and stuff like that. But down the line, like farther the student studies, she finds out what he does and how he became that way. Like one part of the movie was like the guy was like on like a Craigslist of like cannibals or something like that. So he like typed in his ad. He's like, I'm looking for male, nice skin, willing to be eaten or something like that. And then eventually, it just continues going on and on and on like that. I would definitely recommend that movie. It was kind of weird, and I was kind of disappointed in it, but it was a weird movie, but it was also good, like, but some parts were like disappointing and stuff like that, but I would definitely recommend it. It's called Grimm Love. Next movie I want to talk about is Nothing But Trouble. It's with Chevy Chase, Demi Moore, John Candy, Dan Aykroyd in it. It's a really funny movie, funny and thriller movie, you could kind of say it is. It's about Chevy Chase he's like a banker, like a financialist or something like that. And Demi Moore, she's just in it because she's a neighbor of Chevy Chase, and that's basically it. Dan Aykroyd plays this judge in a remote town in like Connecticut or something like that, or Northern California or some shit like that. I forgot where they filmed it and where they're going to and stuff like that. Basically, Dan Aykroyd's the judge, and he keeps his Old Testament terms. Instead of like you go to jail or something like that, he basically goes, well, I'm gonna handcuff you to a shackle and chains for like 10 weeks or something like that. Like old school terms and stuff like that. Like if you had a traffic violation or something like that, he sends you on like a roller coaster, but the roller coaster led into like a grinder of like a human grinder, like where it just ate people up and it spit out their bones and stuff like that. There's some funny parts in there. There's like Dan Aykroyd also played like an oversized baby in it and stuff like that. It's really funny. There's a lot of kookiness to it, but it's also has that like creepiness also to it. But not too many people know about that. Tupac was in this movie. I didn't know that. I just had to watch it, and then after a while I had to IMB it and stuff like that, and I'm like, oh, Tupac's in it. Wow, I just had to make sure. I'm like, I saw his face, but I wasn't sure. This was one of my favorite movies when I was like a kid. I've seen it like when I was little and stuff like that. And didn't think of the name of it, so I couldn't go out and buy it. So one of the movies one of those YouTube channels I was watching, it was actually Sean C. Phillips, which is cool duder, and one of his videos he had a poster of it, so I'm like, oh, that's the movie, so I went out and bought it. So next movie I want to talk about is Boy Wonder. It's a really, really good movie. It's about a kid who's kind of taking revenge on his mother's death. Like, he goes through finding criminals and fighting crime at night, but also in the morning he's a regular student. He's a student in high school, about to be a college student, and he goes to the local police station and hangs out with the chief detective or something like that. And, and he's just a regular kid, but at night he's like a vigilante, and he takes on crime and stuff like that, trying to find his mother's death or killer for it. I'm sorry. It's a really, really good movie. I don't. There's not much more to describe about it. You just have to watch it. There's a lot of twist to it. A lot of twist to the movie, but I would definitely recommend it, and definitely checking it out and watching it. It is. If you want to rent it, go ahead. I actually bought it for like $2 from the Blockbuster that was closing down, and I'm actually happy I bought it. It's actually called Boy Wonder. Just check it out. Moving on to the DVDs. One movie I picked up just over the weekend actually is this one, called Over the Top with Sylvester Stallone. I watched it, but I never watched it, if you get what I mean. Like, I watched parts of it on TV and stuff, but I never really fully watched it. It's a really good movie. It's about Sylvester Stallone being a professional arm wrestler, but he's also a trucker, and throughout the movie he has like couple fatherly son parts. Like, his son's in military school, and Sylvester Stallone picks him up from military school and gets him for like the weekend or something like that, or the summer and stuff like that. It's a really good movie. I like it a lot. Definitely check it out. It's called Over the Top. Next movie I want to talk about, which is Point Break. It's a movie, same thing like Over the Top. Like, I seen it, but I never seen it yet. But basically, Point Break is about Keanu Reeves is a cop or a detective, and he's trying to find who's robbing these people and stuff like that over the summer. And it's actually like the presidents or something like that. So basically, he just goes to finding who's doing this and who's doing that, doing the robbery, and he finds out they're surfers. That's basically of the story. Definitely check it out. It's a good movie. Point Break. Next movie I want to talk about is this one, Jean-Claude Van Damme, or JCVD. It's about Jean-Claude Van Damme. It's like a movie within a movie. Like, it's about Jean-Claude filming a movie, and then after he filmed his movie, he takes a break and he goes off to see his parents in France or something like that, or Austria or Germany, wherever he's from. I think it's French because I traveled to France and I picked up some of the language, so it sounds like French. So I think it's French because they convert it back to English and foreign, back different languages. But I think it's French. So it's about Jean-Claude Van Damme. He's going to a post office and he gets held up by the bad guys, and they try to make him do all this ransom and do all this stuff and make Jean-Claude Van Damme the bad guy. But obviously it turns out he's a bad, Jean-Claude Van Damme's the badass, so you know how he is. So it's a good movie. Check it out. Jean-Claude Van Damme, or JCVD. Next Blu-ray movie I want to talk about is Grace. Weird movie to start off with. It's a movie about this woman who's pregnant, and she ends up like her baby dying in her. Like, she gets she gets in a car wreck and blood spilling everywhere, but the baby's dead inside of her, but she wants to carry it to full term and stuff like that. And then as soon as she gives birth, like, she the motherly love or something like that in her brings back the baby to life, and weird things happening after the baby came back to life, like the baby craved for blood or something like that. It was really weird. I would definitely check it out if you're into that kind of stuff. I thought I'm into weird stuff like that, but that's kind of like pushing it a little bit. But so definitely okay movie, but definitely check it out. It's called Grace. Next movie I want to talk about is, a lot of people crave about or talk about this a lot. and it's the Human Centipede Part 2. I actually have two versions of it. I have the American version, and I have my imported version from the UK. I actually imported this version like 10 months ago or something like that, when it first basically came out, and I was waiting for the American release, but they never did it. So I just imported it from the UK. Obviously, you see that through my videos. I like to import a lot of my movies and have limited editions and stuff like that. This one's just the director's cut. This is just the American version of it. And this one's the limited edition from the UK. The limited part in it is a couple art cards that come together in it. It's pretty cool. See it? Check it out. Yep. Oh, and the inside's pretty tight too. I just noticed that. See? It's the guy and stuff like that. It's basically about this guy who's really obsessed with the first Human Centipede movie, and he just tries to reenact it and stuff like that. So he just does the staple mouth to butt thing and tries to reenact his version of Human Centipede, and it's a lot huger people. Instead of 3 people, he does like 12, I think it is. It's a really good movie. I was just thinking of this. This is gonna be my new thing too. A hot pick of the week. My hot pick of the week for my movies, for my regular DVDs this week, has to be Human Centipede. Human Centipede Part 2. So that will be my hot pick of the week. Definitely check it out if you're into that kind of stuff. It is kind of gruesome, but yeah, I like it a lot. That's my hot pick of the week. And I'll talk to you guys soon for my foreign films in the next movie. Or in the next video I do. So definitely comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys soon. See ya!